On this episode of Wisconsin Caps, we are in all the way in Upper Michigan at a reportedly haunted house. Tonight, we will be hanging out at this residence on request of the owners. What will we find? Let's go inside and find out. How's it going?
Good.
What better way to introduce you to the newest members of the CAPS team than by taking you on an investigation of their own home? Barb recently had a rather frightening experience that prompted her to call the team. After meeting us when she took a tour at the Hayden Adventure, she has kept in touch. Since this investigation, Barb and Rick have been invited and accepted our invitation to join the ranks. You'll be seeing a lot more of them to come.
This house was built in 1890. It was built during the lumber boom in Menominee. Most of the larger structures along First Street were. So the house has a long history. You can see a lot of the original molding. All this predates the 19th century. So with that being said, we'll go up the front stairwell to what we call the Green Mile. There's 6 rooms upstairs. I was told, but we haven't been able to verify yet, that this house was originally an orphanage, and it was built in the traditional H shape that you have in your 18th century structures, hence all the windows. And the other half of the H was in the side yard here. Well, if you go up in the attic, you can see where the beams are charred. So there was a fire at one time, and we've been told that it burned down, and we think this part of the house was rebuilt. Okay. Anna, you said this was like the safest place you felt in the house?
Yes, and everyone in the house has always felt uneasy to me, but this room has always been like my safe space where I just didn't feel anything. It was my room for a year before I moved out, so it was always just my go-to place when I was like scared of whatever was happening.
We kind of think that was because, we feel that this part of the house was rebuilt after the fire.
Okay.
So it wasn't part of the original structure. The whole house is a work in progress. I told Barbara before, I said it's kind of like the Winston Mansion. Always construction, always changing. And we found that typically when we do a large renovation or a large change, that's when there's a lot more activity.
Mm-hmm. How long have you guys lived here?
Since 2012. Bought it in 12, rented it for a year or so before that.
So about 8 years?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's cool.
This room's had a lot of uses over the years. It started out as a bedroom, TV room, that became a computer room, and now it's what we call our family room. So when family comes over to stay, that pops out, they got a place to be. Several things happened in this room. Couch would have been here, computer was here, we're watching a show on the computer. And Barbara's sitting there, she glances over this way, and that's where her desk used to be, and she just froze. And I'm like, you all right, what's going on? And she's just staring at that mirror.
This mirror right here, it's
That's what I just looked.
And she told me she saw like an apparition of a little boy standing in the mirror.
about this height.
And she was literally speechless for, I'd say, a good 5 to 8 minutes. She wouldn't say a word, just stared at it.
I don't like being in this room at night alone. If I have to come up here with the dog or something, it'll be brief and I have to have all the lights on. But if not, then I won't come into this room.
And one of the first things we noticed in the house was you'd be sitting there and always just off back here, just out of sight, was a little like squeak, squeak sound.
Like a rubber duck.
It's like a little rubber ducky or something, or a dog toy, you know, squeak, squeak. But that was before we had dogs, before there were any kind of toys in the house. So, and it didn't matter where you were, it was always just off back behind you. A little squeak, squeak. And then, of course, you look, there's nothing there.
Well, the one time I was sitting with Rick at the desk and I had to go downstairs to grab something. And as soon as I was getting ready to go out the door, I hear a squeaking sound. And we looked and we both looked over at the empty chair, the one I just got off of. And it sounded like whatever it was sat on the chair and was just playing with a squeaker, a toy, you know. It got to the point where we were just getting used to it.
We had a table in here, and we had just got at Shopko some mugs, little tumblers with the silicone outsides. And I just made us both a cup of hot chocolate. Brought them up, set them down on the table. We went back downstairs to the kitchen.
Together.
We came back up about 15 minutes later, and where there was 2 cups, there was only one. The one cup was just gone.
Still
And it
missing.
hasn't shown up to this day. And that was back in 2012, 2013.
Oh,
That was one of the
2013, yeah.
earliest things. Yeah, it's gone.
You still have the other mug?
Yeah, still got the other mug. Currently, this is our exercise room. It doesn't get used as much as it should, mind you, but we call it the red room. Nothing to do with The Shining. But in this room here, there was a bed there, okay? And when we first moved in, both Barbara and Anna were in here, and there was a knocking at the door.
We were watching TV around 8 o'clock at night.
A knocking at the door. Then, maybe 6 months later, Barbara and I were in here, and again there's a knocking at the door. And she says, don't answer it. Well, you don't just not answer a noise, right?
Just casually, and there's no pets. We didn't have any pets
No
at the
dog
time,
yet.
or it was just Rick and I.
The door's shut.
The door's
shut.
shut. Mm-hmm.
So I get up and look, and of course there's nothing there.
Doesn't listen.
Why would I, right? Also in this room, about 2 o'clock in the morning one night, again, bed's right there. Out in the hallway, you can hear a it sounded like a kid playing hopscotch in the hallway. For about 15 minutes. You know? And I was like, okay. So I finally get up and go look, and then there was nothing.
I had my cell phone and I had it on my bed, and the bed was made, everything, and I was, doing my stuff. And about, I don't know, a little bit later, I went to go get it, and my cell phone was gone. Absolutely gone. I was the only one in the house. Came back up here, and now I'm frustrated because I didn't know where my phone was, because I know where I left my phone. So about an hour or so later, I come back up and my phone is on the bed, but it's out of the case, and it's also the battery was out of the phone, just laying there. I didn't know where it came from or how it happened, but it was just laying there. And I called Rick and I kind of freaked out. Just Rick, it wasn't there, But that one still kind of bothers me, how it went missing. And I think that's the only thing that went missing. No, two things that went missing that actually reappeared. Other things we still don't know where they're at.
And this is the room where you have access to that attic with the
Which is scary.
beams in it, charred beams.
Yeah, there's a crawl space up through that closet right there.
Our pastor, well, the youth pastor was over here and with someone else, and they said this room here was the room in the closet there that they felt something really evil or something bad that was in that closet. And they kept on saying, okay, what's behind that door? And the one guy kind of went up there and he says, this is whatever it is, it's from there.
Does it have a ladder or?
I don't think there's a ladder to it, no.
Okay.
But we do have a ladder, so.
Yeah.
So, this is what we call the bubblegum bathroom. Nothing weird happened to me in here, but it's literally a period piece, so we keep it as it is.
Huh.
Back in the day, you had the straight razors, and when it got dull, they would pop it and just stick it in the wall.
You still find that on houses when you tear down the drywall. There'll be razor blades right in the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so last week, I was taking a bath, and I always lock the door, only because, you know, something's always trying to get in once in a while. But anyways, I was relaxing, and then I've been in the tub for a while, so I thought Rick came up here and he turned the door knob, and it was like trying to turn it and trying to get in, you know, and I froze, and I'm like, Rick, and I'm yelling at Rick, and I'm listening for the dogs and stuff like that, and nothing. And the doorknob, it was still continuing, so I hurried up and grabbed my phone, and I called Rick. I was afraid to get out of the bathtub, to tell you the truth. I called Rick, and he's downstairs, the dogs, in the living room. He comes up, and I'm scared at this point, you know, because I don't know what's gonna happen, you know. Rick comes up and he tells me he's out there, and I said okay, so I continued to hurry up, get out, you know, wrap myself with a towel and stuff. I let him in, and I give him a big hug because I was just, you know, startled. And then all of a sudden, Rick's, both of his hands were wrapped around me on my back, and then I felt another hand, like a smaller hand, like this, like trying to grab my towel, like, you know, like for security or something. I felt another hand, and I started freaking out a little bit. I says, Rick, your hand. And something touched me, and it wasn't a quick grab. It was like something, you know, like a little child trying to, you know, reach up and for security or something. And Rick suggested that we go downstairs. I didn't argue with him at all, and I'm still a little unnerved, and that's when I finally
She won't come up here at night without me anymore. Probably 90% of what has occurred in this house, we feel has been children. A couple instances have been more adult in nature. And when we get to the kitchen, we'll talk about one of those. This kind of sets up the story that I have, because she would always come up, and she'd come in here and she'd turn off the lights, and she'd turn on the light in this little closet and relax in the tub. So I'm walking down the hall. This door closes and the light goes off. So I'm assuming that she's in here and she's going to take a bath. So I walk by and I say, love you, you know, nothing. She didn't hear me, you know. Come down around the stairs, she's in the kitchen. I don't know what shut the door, and I don't know what turned off that light, but it wasn't her.
I think that's the first time I've really seen Rick being startled. I mean,
most things in this house haven't happened to me.
So when they moved in here, I was in high school, so I only came up here for summer breaks, Christmas breaks, just to visit. So it was a year or two after you moved in here, that I was up here staying in this room, and it was at Christmas time. So I came up here, went to bed, shut off the lights. The bed was how it is in here. I would lay down and try to go to sleep, but I would hear whispers of a little kid. I think it was a little boy. It would be 1 minute, it would be in my ear, constantly like whispering, but I don't know what it was saying. No clue. But then it will stop for a minute, then continue up in a corner or against a wall, different parts of the room. And it would, 1 minute it would be bouncing around, then it'd be quiet, say something quiet, and it just continued like that for I don't know how long, till I finally went downstairs, told them, hey, this is happening. And then I tried to sleep in here again the next night, and it just kept happening.
I think your quote was, "There's a little boy in my room."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like, yes. So it kept happening like night after night until finally I'm like, nope, I'm not sleeping in here anymore.
The most notable thing that happened in here was to Barbara.
mm-hmm.
She was putting plastic on the windows to insulate for the winter, so what, like November-ish?
Actually January around
It was
there.
late.
Pretty
We
late.
were late. I was at work, and she was putting plastic on the windows.
Well, I was kind of standing on a chair and my foot was on the countertop and I had the blower and I'm blowing and then all of a sudden something was like literally right behind me. Like it was scary. It was like a man's voice, very harsh man's voice, like a threatening voice. And I quickly stopped and I turned around because all the hair on my arms were just sticking up, and I said, that better not be Rick, because I was going to hurt him, and I turned around and there was nobody in the house, and it wasn't outside, it was like right directly behind me. And I quickly looked out the window and Rick's truck wasn't there at all. That's when I called him. And I was at that point, this was a very early incident when we first moved in. I was kind of thinking maybe we should move here,
I'm noticing you have a lot of eclectic stuff throughout the house. Any of this picked up shortly before this started happening? Or is this happening since you bought the house?
This type of behavior, activity, has occurred in this house for years before we ever bought it.
Okay.
that we found.
I was actually
After.
going to a work lunch, and the fella driving the car as we were driving by the house, this was back in 2013 or so, and we drove by the house, and he actually made a comment about how he knew somebody that said this house was
His
haunted.
grandmother was.
And I'm like, he's going on and on about weird stuff happening in this house, and this well predates when we purchased it.
And the thing is, he didn't even know that.
He had
This
no
house-
idea that I lived here.
Yeah, it was our house,
So I just let him talk.
Rick, Barb, and Anna had a lot more stories and a lot more experiences throughout the house, but if we included them all here, it would take the whole episode. So it's time to get set up for the actual investigation. I think basically what we're going to have to do is go in each of these rooms, sit, talk to it, and see if it'll come and knock on the door. And that's
Close the door. Everybody goes in a
Yeah.
room, closes the door, and see.
Well, then I can watch the, doors from the camera, basically.
you want to go to the band? You want to maybe switch halfway through the night or something, like send Luke out there or something?
I'd be fine with the van.
Here's the truth.
I'm going to the bathroom.
Take the band when you get the bells. And you come back in.
I'll be back in a little while.
And then we will,
Simple. Evening.
Okay. She just said good luck. I walked out there. I went luck. Luck, simple evening. Good. We're off to a good start here. Simple evening. Here's the bathroom. I'm going to go in here and close the door, since that's what you told me to do. Close the door. I got a little... Gone. I'm gone. Sift. Okay.
Weeps.
Okay. You're saying all these things, but they don't mean anything to me. Can you tell me who you are? Can you tell me a name? Maybe? How about if I sit right here? Can I sit right here? Okay. Now you're not going to talk? Are you a child? Are you afraid of me? I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just here to talk. They just kind of want to know who you are, you know? We're just here to talk. What's your name? Tell me a name? No? Yeah? Tell me a name. I'll turn the light back off. And I'll just sit here. If you want to talk to me, you talk to me. If you don't, you don't. I'm going to set you right there. How's that? I won't even touch it. Okay, I'll just stand over here. If you want to talk, you can talk. Here, I'll put my hands out. If you want to touch my hands, rattle the doorknob, whatever you want to do. Are you trying to scare her?
Nana.
She reminds me of Nana. Does she protect you? You like her? Does she make you feel safe? Is that why you come by her? Is that you knocking? Can you do it again? Can you do it again? Make that snap? I bet you can't. Was that you? You kind of take too long to do that, so I can't say that it's you and then you again. So you want me to tell Barb that you think of her as a Nana and that you're not going to hurt her?
Moors.
Yeah, you keep saying that too. I don't know what that means here. Soggy ground. You tapping on the shower door? It's definitely tapping in the shower.
way. Continue.
Did you like that?
Are you little? Are you a little kid?
Thing is, I don't know if it lights up that much. How about you light it up for yes, and you don't light it up for no, okay? Hello again. I wonder, is it so young they can't understand what we're asking yet? Or maybe something? I don't know.
It's possible that they're too young.
You are too young? Are you one? Two?
Are you Mr. Lambert? Mr. Lambert passed away in the house. This is a couple years after we moved in. You don't know if it's true.
Getting colder in here. That's what that way is. Are you in here with us? Did you make it get colder in here? Do you have a heat vent in this room?
Yeah, it's right over there.
That's a heat vent or a cold air return?
That's the heat vent.
I was gonna say, because we got the door closed, I thought maybe that's why it was getting colder in here. Because it does feel colder in here
Yeah.
than when we walked in. Alright, we're coming out to the hallway. We can reconvene out there. Okay, so here's what I want. What is the most active room that we've done so far?
It's, to me, I feel like it's the squeaker.
Squeaker room?
That's what I think, yeah.
We didn't have anything in there.
No, not as far as active, but a lot of talking in that
Yeah,
room.
but the,
We don't know that.
the bathroom.
But I would have to say also the hallway, right over here, outside.
Just walking up here, and it was just talking all the way up the stairs, and like I said, it's at the bathroom. It's dirty people smell.
Here's the thing that was brought up on some of the stuff that I read, like hallways are liminal spaces. They aren't lived in, so you don't have as much activity, and the paranormal and stuff can gather there more because it's not pushed out. You know, it's like, that's why when you stand at the top of the staircase and you look down, it's creepy, you know, or like into the basement, because that's liminal space. It's not lived in space. You only pass through it.
Okay.
So hallways are supposed to be creepier and stuff because of that.
Oh, it's true. Gee. I think you should go in there.
What room?
The exercise room? The one where it
We
told
were
you.
just in there.
Yeah, but it just told you not to go up in that attic.
I want to go.
See that face?
I would
Look
go
at that
there.
face.
I would go up there. I mean,
That's what I mean. We
here's
opened the
okay.
closet.
Let's do this. You have a ladder?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we take a little break? I have to pee again. And I'm gonna go grab the SLR camera, and we're gonna set that up in the squeaker room, and then we can go up in the attic, check that out, and then we'll all go sit in the SLR room, or the squeaker room.
It's needed, guys.
We took a break and were treated to a wonderful pizza dinner. Ethan came in and warmed up, and Anna headed home. Now that we were all fed, we decided to poke around in the attic since we didn't get much activity so far.
So I wrote Doris Harris, and then I read aloud the 40,000.
Daddy Swim.
Yep. Did you,
That's what we said before. Her dad's
Oh my.
name.
highly recommend it. It's the best one. Well, it's actually a quadrilogy, no. But Xenos, Malice, Heretics, and Magos.
And there was you get those novels, they're either from the perspective of the Imperium or the perspective of the Chaos. And,
What is it saying? Daddy Swim River?
They have a picture of the space marine while it worked.
I've never heard Daddy before.
This is not insulation.
What is it? That's a walnut.
It's a nut.
Don't tell me this is insulation. That's not insulation.
It's a black walnut. Yeah, it's a black walnut.
You'd be surprised what they use in older homes for insulation.
Rick,
Yes.
Do you know what the burnt up here?
There's some sister beams that we saw up over this
Okay.
room.
Because they were telling
Nail?
us about a fire, and then when we, the inspector came,
40.
and that was confirmed with the fire. You know, all the stories.
Well, that's about as much as I can see.
Gonna go off again? Went off before, and we thought it was the walkies making it go off, and we tried again, and it didn't go off, so. Oh, REM pod. REM pod's going
I
off.
hear it, yeah.
It stopped again. See? It's when I stand here. Maybe that whatever's in the bathroom comes back for me.
Somebody down there?
I should have turned that way. Duh.
Yeah, sure.
But you got cameras.
Yep. Nope. No.
That was longer than the other time. No cat.
No walkies.
No, that's what I was just telling him. It went off when the walkies went off before.
Did you just walk down the hallway? Can you do it again? Pass the thing on the floor,
You aren't talking.
please? If that's you, can you please make that light up again for us? Thank you. Can you make it go any higher? Get real close to it.
Haunting. Evening.
Perfect. Yep.
Wanting what?
Haunting evening.
Score.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
Haunting evening. Score.
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh, I just
Preacher.
Yeah, there was a preacher here. You didn't like him? You did like him. Do it again if you did like him. Okay.
Well, if you're not a human, can you make it light up?
Yep. You're not a human. Are you an animal?
Uh-huh.
Are you an animal? Like a dog? Are you a cat? Do I want to go any further with that?
Sure.
Like what?
Are you a demon?
No. Oh.
You dropped the D word. I was gonna, but he did it. He beat you to it.
I'm sorry.
Ethan, where are you?
Don't feel good.
Yep, there's a lot of EMF by you.
Are you doing this to me?
Oh.
Are you making me feel sick? Is this your aggression?
Are you mad that we went up in the attic? Oh. God. Oh. That was weird. Both the meters just spiked and it just like my whole body twitched. There is so much energy in here.
There always is, all night long when I came through this.
Not this
It
much.
just died. I had this thing up to 2.
Oh. Every time I come right through this area, I don't feel good, dear. Okay. Now you're pissing me off. Do you want us to bring the preacher back? Are you still here? Light it up again if you're still here. Otherwise, we're talking to ourselves.
I think it's here.
Yeah.
Here?
Here.
Here.
Yeah.
Not here. Here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go touch the red light?
Thank you. You need to just keep talking.
Mm-hmm.
Don't whisper either.
It likes you.
Oh. Okay. Do you like
Find.
Playing with what?
Do you like playing with the dog? You do, don't you? I know. I see you running around. Well, I don't see you, but I hear you running around with the dog. Mocha likes playing.
Do you miss the dog? He's not here today. I'm sorry, I won't talk to you anymore. Yeah, I'm the square lady in the bathroom.
Okay, it's okay.
Children.
Children, yeah.
How many
Find.
children are here with you?
Find children.
Drive.
You want me to go drive and find the children? Like the puppies? We do call them our girls, huh? We call the dogs kids. Don't we, Rick?
Yes, we do.
All the time. Can you make it
It's an animal.
green? Can you touch it and make it green? Pretty please? Thank you. Oh, double. You like touching that, don't you?
Are you saying there's 2 kids?
Mm.
Okay. That's more like it.
Is that fun? Keep going. Make all the lights light. Keep going. There's a lot more colors. Keep going. I want to see the blue one.
People.
Soup people.
There you go. There you go. Find the blue one. There's a yellow one. Mm-mm. Find the blue one. A little more. There you go. Isn't that fun? It's like Simon.
It's science.
Yeah.
I don't want to explain it to the young kids.
There's got to be another light on this side. What color is this one? Whoops, I missed. I blinked.
Can you make the colors go faster? Go ahead. Go real fast.
There you go. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Go a little faster for me. I like that noise. I like the music. You dancy, dancy, dancy. Come on, play it a little bit more. A little bit more. Show me the green. Show me the blue. Can you show me the blue?
See if you can make it stay on longer. Keep trying. Because it'll beep for a long time. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have talked. I'm sorry.
Can you light it up for me
I'm
one
the
more
wrong
time?
lady.
Pretty please.
You like the hallway, don't you?
I heard it. I got tapped down by the bathroom door.
Yeah.
Are you tapping down there? On the walls?
I told you to do that a long time ago.
Haze.
Were you tapping on the wall because I told you to? And I forgot about it?
Elemental.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other word? Chief again. That's way too much. You're just playing with everything now. Play with these. Look. Oops.
Hey, there you go.
I just moved it.
Bump it again.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's faster. You like that one? You got friends here now?
Remote.
You're spiking the other one now up to orange too.
Blaze.
Cheat? Am I cheating?
Statement.
I didn't touch it that time. You got friends here now? Playing with everything. Okay, okay. Johnny.
Can you make it stop?
Johnny doing this? Is this Johnny?
Smell.
I'm sorry.
Johnny smell.
Judge burning. Hunt. Okay, you can
Can you
stop.
make it stop?
Back away from it and it'll stop. Can you make it stop now?
But you were yelling at me. Am I doing that?
No.
Okay, I'll get up. Okay, stop. Johnny, it's enough. Whoa, it's enough. All right.
It is
It's going fast
going
now.
up.
It didn't like you doing that.
I'm sorry, did I
The other
step on
one's
you?
Going up too, though.
What? Head club.
You like that?
Want me to club you in the head with it?
How fast?
Oh, I'm sorry.
How fast?
I'm sorry.
You heard that?
I didn't mean to threaten you.
How fast can make you go?
Yeah, that's about it. That's about as fast as the thing goes.
Well, if you tries.
40. Mind.
That's fast.
That's just pegged out. That's why.
Okay, I'm gonna take this one away for a second. Okay, I'm gonna take it away. Okay, now when I put it back, you can play with it again. But we gotta make it rest. We gotta let it rest a little bit, okay? Oh, okay. Well, let me put it down first. Okay, I'm gonna put it down. Now wait. It's like a dog. Wait. Oh, now you're over there. Okay. Oh. Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Okay.
They both went down.
Now you can come back. I'm sorry.
Down together.
Now you can come back and play with it. You can play with that one. I don't care. Yeah. That was something, wasn't it? Something known. Finish. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Mad. That's worse than sad.
Yeah.
I made you mad? I know. I shouldn't threaten you.
You can play
But
it again now.
I just wanted to make sure that it was working right and not that I did something.
She's sorry.
So now you can come back and play with this one. It's a lot of work getting down there.
That's why he's up here.
Okay. Are you still mad at me?
Don't be mad.
Oh, you're just mad. Did I break your toy?
You can play with this one right here if you want to.
Just gonna take it away.
Violent.
Way to go, Mom.
Just say sorry.
Didn't I say that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sin. Do you want me to leave? Do you want me to go away?
Everything stopped.
Okay, I'll go sit in the other room.
I'll trade places here.
I'll go away.
Okay, she's leaving.
She'll probably come and haunt me in here. I'm going away. Ouch. Yeah. I'll go in here and play with the ball.
It's safer.
Did you hear that?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Console us.
Sorry.
What does elemental mean? If it talks correctly, what just happened?
I turned off the Alexa. The light shouldn't have turned
Soon?
off.
Idle? Is it a motion sensor?
Yeah, 1206.
Then it shouldn't be
What?
off.
No.
So we did not turn that off.
Did you turn the lights off?
They were programmed to go off on an hour and a half hour, and I turned them off.
Here's my problem. Everything went quiet when the lights went up. Your lights are obviously smart lights, correct?
Correct.
Tesla sun, yep. Electricity, yeah, cool. So, okay, thank you. My thought was that whatever's powering... I'm speaking.
Don't piss it off.
My thought was that it might have been your lights and the electrical of that was causing that to go off for whatever reason. But now that it's back doing whatever it's doing, that rolls that out. How come you didn't want to play with us all day when we were here? How come we went up in the attic and all of a sudden this started? Were you hiding?
There it is.
Surprise! Hi!
Didn't it come out of the book closet?
It's like 3 point, flexing 3.7, 3.8.
Were you in the attic? There's a living fuzzy in the attic?
Yeah, that's what it said when you were up there too. There it is.
Think puncture.
This wish it could be fuzzy.
No, there's a living fuzzy in the attic.
In the attic.
Yeah.
Maybe a squirrel?
Yeah.
Is it a squirrel? Yes?
we decided to try and move the equipment to a different area of the house. We went and sat in the family room with the REM pod just outside the door and aimed the SLS camera on it.
Hey, that's aimed out at the hallway.
Look at them dams. That's a big person too. It's like bent over.
We had a lot of camera issues and electronical issues throughout the entire night, but we'll talk more about that in a little bit. The SLS screen recorder stopped recording, and we didn't capture the stomping entity.
So that thing was right where you were, and it's as big as you. I just want to hear it. There is something here, right? It's just not me, and it's just not Rick or Anna. But did you guys see enough or hear enough to make it? You think that there is something here? Yes, I mean.
So, Ethan, what do you think? Do you think that there's something here or not?
At this point, I would say I'd be at the point where I would warrant coming again to confirm or deny. So there's enough to keep my interest, but not enough to push me over the edge.
I would agree. I would agree with Ethan.
Because we have to reproduce things to confirm and all that. And, if we can get the same results again, that tells me it wasn't a fluke or a one-time thing.
Here's what we can do.
Unless we go through our audio and then we start hearing, voices and shit like that, because that's different. Especially if they correspond with what we were doing at the time.
Do you have an audio recorder down the hall, like where the REM pod was?
There's one in here and there's one in the back bedroom.
Yep.
Oh, way down there. I thought if you had one hanging on that camera at the end of the hall. Or the camera has sound in the
Camera's
van.
got sound.
Yeah, camera's got sound.
Ed.
There we go.
What do you think? Is there activity here? REM-pod just went to.
Do you want us to come back again? No. Whoa. I was gonna say,
Just
not me.
jumped from 0.5 and the yellow light went off.
Maybe you had to pee.
I sympathize.
Yeah, me too.
You were hearing that little burble in the pipes very quick.
Okay, now what was I gonna ask? Oh, do you want us to leave now? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
It didn't say drive.
They're both going off.
Is that thing, where's the obelisk?
Or is that, yeah, they're both.
Ethan has the obelisk.
And it's on proximity.
I mean, that thing couldn't have sped up any faster.
Is it past your bedtime? Okay.
Whoa.
Now you like talking to me.
Let's get the fuck out.
Well, it's 2:30. Are we going to interrupt witching hour?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was waiting for 3. What was that?
It's 2:30. We're going to interrupt witching
Yeah,
hour.
we can't do that.
What's witching hour? 3 o'clock. Well,
2 to 3.
Okay, I don't understand.
When things are most active.
Yeah.
Do you want us to come back another time and talk to you?
With all the stuff grouped together, the REM pod, the stairs, the stories, there's something weird happening here. And the fact that, like I said out in the hallway, the meter should not be at yellow. In a normal house, you know, it shouldn't be at yellow. Granted, it could be the Wi-Fi, it could be the electrical here and stuff. But less than a minute later, the meter dropped to nothing. So it's obviously not something wiring-wise. But again, when you have that intelligence to respond to, can you make it go off, and it does it on command, well, obviously your Wi-Fi router isn't listening.
Mm-hmm.
But again, one's proximity, one's electrical field. They should not play with each other. One will trigger or the other one will. But you shouldn't be able to do them both with the same stuff. It answered, it wasn't human too. That part is what always bothers me the most.
What was it? It said anemone? No.
Elemental.
Elemental.
We've talked a lot about Fae. And that was the reason why I brought that up in the hallway. Are you a Fae? Are you a fairy, a pixie, anything like that? Because over in Ireland, the Fae is a big deal.
Yes, they are.
And people will tear down houses or move roads because of the fairies and stuff that are there. This is true, 100%.
Or cut corn off houses or whatever.
Yep. So here's one of the biggest things with Fae, is they like to play around. They will steal things. Your cup, your ring, and then they'll put it back somewhere else. A lot of people that go over to Ireland and stuff to, they lose the lens cap off their camera only to find it in their car. It just should not be there.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were talking about those stories and stuff earlier, that's what got me thinking. I'm like, this doesn't sound like a haunting. It sounds like
What are those little brownies? But brownies
are helpful. Yeah.
Trolls are not nasty, but trolls are
Well,
something else. I can't think of the other thing. Goblin?
Yeah, which one they got one now?
it depends on what season you're in, doesn't it?
That's true too. When you have two courts of Fae, you have the Seelie court and the unseelie court. And in the summer, you have the Seelie court, or spring summer. It goes by solstice, I believe. And when it's spring and summer, you have the Seelie court that goes around and makes things bloom and everything. And then in the fall and winter, you have the unseelie court that are basically little jerks. And they steal stuff.
No offense.
And most of the activity is in the autumn and early winter.
I honestly feel better. Don't get me wrong. I meant that I just had a feeling that something, with all the experiences, what's been going on, I feel a little better knowing that it's not me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just kind of creepy knowing that now it's like something could still be watching you, especially like taking a bath. I honestly feel a little bit better, you know, towards with the whole experience, you know. Does that mean I'm not to be less creepy? You have a creepy feeling? No, I'm still going to have that creepy feeling, but at least I know it's not going to hurt me.
See, personally, I have never been afraid. I know there's something here because I've lived it. I know there's something here. I know there's multiple somethings here. And I do get that what was in the hallway is not the same as what was here. Now the whole fairy angle is not something I considered before, but that does make a lot of sense, especially if we're talking about the unseemly court with the tricksters and such, and nixies and pixies. That fits a lot with the motive of what's been happening in the house. Not malicious, just playful. A lot like kids.
This investigation has yielded a lot of evidence and not many answers. And now that Rick and Barbara are members of the team, you can bet we'll be back to take a closer look into what's going on. For now, let's take a look at some of the anomalous stuff from this night. First of all, you may have been wondering why none of the security camera footage is part of this episode. After all, Ethan was watching from the van during the first part of the night, and we had security cameras on both ends of the hallway upstairs. Well, that's an easy, non-paranormal answer. This was one of the coldest days of the year. When we booted up the security cameras, the hard disk drive that records was too cold to register, and none of the video ended up being recorded. Guess you live and learn. While we were all downstairs enjoying our yummy pizza, the audio recorder up in the spare bedroom, the whisper room, picked up a voice. You can hear me say something about a 3-sided chessboard that Rick and Barbara have, then a voice comes in over the top. 3-sided board! Also, during our actual investigation, the GoPro camera that was filming the SLS video fell from where it was sitting. The strap on the back of it has a non-slip grip. It should not have fallen on its own. Perhaps it was just a coincidence. Next is the GoPro camera on myself. As a team, we monitor each of the cameras throughout an investigation, as we check our own to make sure that they're still recording and working correctly. You can even see in the video that the red light is showing that my camera is working correctly. Throughout the night, I remove it from my head and aim it at different things, like the computer screen where the SLS camera captured the stick figure in the hallway. But by now, you probably guessed, all the footage from the time that I stepped into the room with Anna to investigate forward is gone. I even ran a recovery check on the SD card to make sure that it didn't get erased accidentally. Keep in mind, the red room is also where the attic door is, and I stuck the camera up there to video where I couldn't see. All the activity in the hallway started after we explored the attic. Whoever, or whatever, is sharing the house with Rick and Barbara has still been active since our initial investigation, and we have not finished with this story. Not by a long shot.
Can you tell me why you're mad?
Yeah, it's a warrior guy too.
Oof.
I got nothing.
Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.